All right, look, hey, welcome back. Finally, after what I want to say, 4 months. After about 4 months, we back with the highlight reel. Um, let me try and do that better. Let me try and do that a little better. Welcome back to the highlight reel with Jariah. I know it's been a little while. I know I look a lot different. I got more hair now, even though it's less hair than people used to with me with the locks and everything. Still same, I still got this merch, just a few pieces of merch I got, but I still love it. But yeah, we are finally back to the highlight reel. Finally. Um, and for those of you listening in, but not looking at the audio, oh my gosh. For those of you listening in, not looking at the visual, but just listening to the audio, still thank you for tuning in as a listener. I'm still a little rusty or whatever. I'm getting back into it, but I'm just thankful that we are back to the highlight reel, man. It's been a long time coming. I just want y'all to know that ever since that last episode with my mom and dad, shout out to them. Ever since that last episode, I have been working. For those of you that know how much I've been working just to make sure I can get everything that I need to basically feel comfortable. And as I would preach through a lot of last season, you still got to grow through your fear, and you still have to do things through fear, get comfortable being uncomfortable in order to get things that you want to do, chase those dreams. So yeah, here we are. We finally have a visual. This is something I've been talking about since the beginning of last season, but I didn't necessarily have the means to do it, or I didn't have the know-how to do it. Now I finally have it, and I'm just glad that we are here in this space and in this place because since I've been away from the podcast as far as putting episodes out, it's been a lot of things that I've been learning about life and a lot of things that I've been learning about myself. And obviously these are things that I'm going to share with you, the listener, as we, embark on this new season, because I don't know, like if you can, for those that can see, I have a lot, again, got more hair now and everything, but I'm also a lot bigger than I was. I know I'm in this hoodie and you probably can't tell, but I'm about 200 pounds now. And the last time you saw me, I would say I was closer to 160. Like I'm about 200 pounds now. After about 4 months, I know it take a minute, but I'm about 40 pounds heavier. I've been in that gym. And that's just been a part of the discipline for me, because I know when I first moved back home, I said that I needed to basically get in the routine. That was one of the very first things that I said to myself, because I know how not being in a routine can have you sitting idle, and I didn't want to do that. And I feel like, especially as a young man, I want to make sure that I'm moving toward my goals. I'm moving towards something. Sometimes I know, you feel like you got to have your rest. And I did have my rest when I first got back. But even still, in that little bit of rest I had, I was like, this didn't even feel right. I think that's just how I'm wired, to be honest. But I just didn't feel right. So I figured that I would go ahead and get into routine. So I had got one job when I first moved back. Still work at that job, but I don't work there as much because I had picked up some other jobs. And I worked there as well at those places. And to some people, that's like going to the extreme. But I know for myself, that is kind of how it helps me stay in a routine. It helps me to know that everything I'm doing is working towards something and it's moving towards something. And it's helping me move toward my goals even a little faster. I know for some people, that's like a little, like I said, that's a little extreme. But for me, I think that is where I kind of operate the best as far as my brain. It's like, all right, that this is going to work out for this so you can get to this. Because again, I have certain goals that I want to get to. And if I have to do more work to get to them a little faster, then I'm willing to do that work, because I also feel like there are things that I'm willing to do that some people are not willing to do. Or if to get to a place you've never been, or to a place that people that have never been, you're going to have to do some things that they haven't done or that you haven't done in order to get to those goals. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And one of those things that also has helped me stay disciplined is staying in the gym. I'm not gonna lie, to my men especially, look, get in the gym. Like it's It's so good for your brain. It's so good for your brain. I cannot emphasize it enough. And then again, just to wake up, because usually I like to go in the morning, but I really go when I can. But to put yourself through a mental test every day is good for you. It's good for you. You just need to make sure, obviously you need to have your rest with that as well. But to be able to put yourself through something hard every day, it builds you up. I will say that whenever hard times do come, I get annoyed with it, but I put myself through something hard basically every day. So now when something pops up and it's kind of hard to deal with, this is not anything new to me. It's just something that I do every day. So it's not like I really need to, it's not like I'll kind of fall back when something like that happens. It's like, pump up my shoulders, pump up my chest a little bit. It's like, all right, so what we got to do? How do we deal with this problem? How do we solve it? How do we fix whatever needs to be fixed? But yeah, man, look, I feel a lot. I think where I am in my life right now, I tend to ask a lot of people for advice. Some people advise against that, to each their own. But I like to learn from other people, what do they wish they did differently, so I can just do it. That way I don't have to look back and say, I wish I did this differently. Of course, there are going to be things that I still say, but I've been asking a lot of people, what do you wish you did differently? At 23, right? And I'm going to have a series going on with that as well. But what is something that you wish you did differently at 23? Because that's how old I am. Even though sometimes I forget just because of how much I'm doing a lot of the time. It's like, man, you can still get some help as far as knowing what you could do, or what steps you could take to be at a different point for people that wish they were maybe at a better point or whatever. Because a lot of people will say, man, you're doing pretty good, and you can always be better. It's not like you're doing the best. It's like, nah, I'm doing good. What can I do better? What can I improve? That's just something else I also try to implement into my life as far as how can I improve as a young man. So try to keep that up. But yeah, I'm just excited for where I am in my life currently. Again, for people that are used to me having locks, even myself, it's like, this is crazy. It's like, wow, he really cut his hair off. But I'm so glad that I did it, because I think that cutting my hair off, as I figured it would, it kind of signified that I'm at a different point in my life. When I turned 23, I was like, this is going to be a different growth phase, a different growth period, and it has been nothing short of that. And some things have just been happening in my life that have been changing, gaining people, losing people, things like that. But then gaining me, it's like, yes, this is where I need to be. This spot right here, like, this is where I need to be. So I'm happy that I'm finally here. I have so many ideas, and I hope that I can bring them to fruition. I try to keep my certain goals on the low, just because when you tell a lot of people, there becomes a lot of added pressure with those goals. It's like, all right, this person knows. So all these people expect you to do it, and with expectations come responsibility. To whom much is expected, much is required. But I hope I got that right? But I don't have to have that pressure of other people hoping I achieve my goals. That can be a good thing, but it just feels good knowing this is something I want to do, and I will prove to myself whether I'm serious about it or not by either following through on it or not. And it's really as simple as that. And again, this is something I've been learning, because as one of the other biggest things that I want to make sure I point out is, your decisions are everything. And again, like I was saying, all these goals that I have, I will attain them based off because of the decisions that I make to make sure that I do attain them. Some people will, I don't know, you make excuses, and I try not to make excuses. It just doesn't. Excuses are tools of incompetence, and those who abide by them rarely amount to anything. I know that, and I try my hardest to not make any excuses, but I do know that your decisions, the decisions that you make or lack thereof, is going to basically present you with the life that you will live. If you are happy with your life, you have to think about the decisions that led you to that point. If you are happy with your life. If you are happy with your life, you have to think about the decision that led you to that point. And if you are not, you have to do the same thing. So your decisions, people try to run away from that. They'll be like, man, I wish this or that or this. But what opportunities did you take advantage of? What opportunities did you not take advantage of? Did you let the fear get in the way? Which I understand, but that's still decisions on whether you're going to basically tackle that obstacle and try to get through it, or if you're going to sit in it and let it overwhelm your whole situation. So I'm trying to, navigate through all of those things. And I know that there are many other 23-year-olds, young adults, 18-year-olds that are navigating these things. And I plan to talk about it. I plan to talk about all of this stuff. And of course, I'll talk about my life, but I also want to continue to improve the podcast as far as what we talk about, how we talk about it. I do think that now that we got a visual, it's going to be a lot better. I feel like there are going to be so many things that I can do now because people have been telling me, man, when's the podcast coming back? Oh, are you still doing it? What's going on with it? Hey, are you ever going to get a visual with it? Like, what's going on with that? There's so many things that I really plan to do with the podcast. And I'm just glad that I'm grateful that I've been making the decisions and sacrifices that I have in order to make certain things happen. I've also had this certain particular individual help me he pushes me. This guy pushes me. I won't say he's like a mentor, but he's helped me get through some moments. He's like, look, man, what is stopping you? What is the thing that's stopping you from attaining this goal? The only thing that I know of is you. And when you make it plain and when you make it simple like that, you kind of have to face that. It's like, dang, if I want this, I can have it. I can get it. It's just whether I really want it or I'm willing to make the effort to do so. So just learning all these things, these are things I keep in the back of my mind all the time because I want to make sure that I at least try to go after the things that I say I want instead of just sitting back and saying, yeah, I was going to do this, I was going to do that. It's like, nah, I did it and it worked, or I did it and I failed, or, I tried and I failed. But either way, at least I know. I think that's one of the most important things that you can experience. Is like, at least you shot for it and you either failed or you got it. But it's like a flip of a coin. On one side you don't, on the other side you do. So why not try? Why not at least try? You're gonna miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So go ahead and take some. Just throw them things up, shoot them up. So that's just the season that I'm in. That's the season that I'm in. Again, y'all probably can't. Nah, you probably can't even see it, but I've gained some weight. It's happy weight. It's lean weight. Like, seriously, whenever I look at the scale and I see 190 plus, borderline 200, it's a constant reminder that I need to keep working, but I'm also happy that I made it back to this point because, again, the last time you heard from me, I was light by my standards. I was less than 170. And I'm like, nah, I can't keep that up. I need this weight. This weight needs to stick with me. And I also think it's, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but, a little rusty, whatever. But also, when I cut my hair, just seeing the progress that I've made since I've cut my hair, it's like, I've seen so much progress since May alone. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, honestly. In the simplest terms, it's beautiful. I cut my hair off, and I've seen my hair grow from, basically being right on my scalp to, there's a little bit of a fro or whatever. And I've seen my body grow, and I'm starting to see things fit differently on me or whatever. It just feels good to know that these things that I said I wanted, or these things I said I wanted to work for, I'm starting to see them basically come to life. It's a very rewarding experience, a very rewarding process. And of course, I'm always here and an advocate for going for your goals, making sure that you are trying to attain these things that you say you want. Because if you say you want something and then you're not putting any action toward it, we'll really see how you feel about yourself and how you feel about, like, how seriously you take yourself. Like, how seriously do you take yourself? Are you really going to put in the work? Are you really? That's just how I'm trying to be right now. But yeah, life has been good. I've been blessed. I thank God I've made it to this point, because without him, I don't know where I'd be. I do not know where I'd be. I feel like I've been so focused. I've been very, very focused. I haven't had a lot of time for a lot of BS, because especially with as much as I'm trying to get done and as much as I work and stuff, it makes some decisions a little simpler. It's like, do I want to do that? I don't have the time for it. Or is it really worth my time to do it? No, but I know this thing that I need to do here to get there, I got to do it, or I'm going to do it. So it makes decisions a lot simpler. But yeah, highlight reels back, baby. I'm so happy that we at this point. I have so many plans, so many ideas, and I'm just putting myself out there, and I'm happy that we are going to basically embark on this journey together as we enter 2023, because I remember I tried to call it, I think in 2020, rest in peace to that year, but I remember calling this the decade of life. I remember I tried to call 2022 the year of no fear. Plenty of fear still won. I mean, fear got hands. It's like I was scared to do a lot of things, but, in 2022, I learned a lot about myself. And I was like, okay, I did take some leaps and, took some steps forward that I can build upon. Whereas in the past, I might have been a little reluctant, but I'm trying to basically flesh out, or at least try to pursue any creative passions that I have, because I want to show to myself that if I put my mind to it, I can do it. And if it's something I want to do, why not try it? Just see where it goes. Again, if it works, good for me. Excuse me. If it doesn't, still kind of good for me. It's like, all right, well, I know now. At least I won't always be sitting wondering, what if? I do not want to live with regret like that. I just want to, make smart decisions, because as I said earlier, I've learned that your decisions are everything, in my workplaces and things like that, and just the people that I'm around, family, all those things. It's like, you are the culmination of all of the decisions that you make. And it doesn't seem that, it might not seem that serious, but every decision you make will lead up to the life that you're going to live, or the life that you are currently living. So I take my decisions a lot. I know they all hold some weight, so I try to take them a lot more serious when I have to make a decision. But I'm trying to get all my thoughts out. It's like I'm just trying to get everything out. But I just know that bringing the podcast back, is something that I've been looking forward to for the longest. Been nervous on how I was going to do it, and even still, I deal with trying to have everything together before I start. But I do truly feel like I am in a spot now where I can just go for it and just see where it takes me. And I'm very excited again. I hope that, you go on this journey with me. Again, I plan to improve the podcast. This is already a step forward toward that, because I didn't have a visual at all last season. Trust me, for those of you that were listening to the episodes last season, I truly appreciate you and I truly thank you. But now that I have a visual, the potential is like exponential now. It's exponential. I can reach so many more people. We can have so much more fun. I know people, guests want to be seen. There were so many conversations that I wish I could have captured, because you capture a whole different essence of the conversation. It's like, all right, I hear what they're saying, but I also see their body language. I know that this is, basically seeing something in video is it's one of the second highest forms of communication, compared to being like right next to the person, talking to them and everything like that. But there are moments I wish I could have captured, but now I can. So I'm so excited. I'm so glad that we're here. But yeah, that's a, kind of a recap of what's been going on in my life, where I plan to take the podcast. And I'm so happy to announce that, season 2, we are here. We are here. Again, thank you to everybody that listened to season 1. Season 2, we back and we better. Sounds cliche, but top of the year, it's time to prove something. It's time to prove something to you. Time to prove something mainly to me. That's how everybody should have I think that's what everybody's attitude should be. Prove something to yourself as far as your goals in your life. Like, take yourself serious. Please, please do that. Please. Can we agree on that? Do that. All right. But yeah, again, thank you for tuning into the highlight reel. This has been episode 1 of season 2 of the highlight reel with Jariah. Again, we back and we better. I can't wait to show y'all everything that I have in store for y'all and just to be able to bring so many of these different ideas to life. But again, I'm healthy, doing well, and we're gonna go on this journey together. So last time, thank you for tuning into the highlight reel with Jariah. I'm glad that you're here, and we're gonna go on this journey together. All right, peace.